Hey guys, Common Man. Today we are doing a deep dive into robots. And when I say a deep dive, I mean not all that deep. But as part of this 1 year review, I would like to take a little bit of a deeper look into a few topics that I brought up in the initial 1 year video, and then be done with this whole 1 year review so that it doesn't drag out too far into the year. So today we're going to talk about robots, and that means cars and it means humanoid. Both those types of robots are very important in the Tesla story. And after I did the initial 1 year video recently, there was an earnings call that came out for Tesla. And in that earnings call, some very important things were said about robots, unsurprisingly. But one of them was Elon in particular said this. They are going to release robot cars this year in 2025. And they are saying it's going to happen in June in Austin, Texas. So it sounds like if you lived in Austin, you could summon a robot Tesla to you and it would take you wherever you want to go. So think Uber, but without a driver. This is not a new thing. Waymo's doing this in certain locations, and they're doing a fairly good job of it. Tesla is trying to solve this in a different way than Waymo. Waymo has a lot of sensors and needs to map out everywhere that the car is going to go in order for the car to be successful. Whereas Tesla can let a robot car loose anywhere really in the world, but especially in the United States, where it's been heavily trained on US road rules and things like that. So that was an interesting revelation that came out right after my video, that they're saying that this thing that they've been talking about for a fairly long time is going to happen relatively soon. So that's a big deal. And as I have said on this channel, I am personally very interested in this, not just from the perspective of an investor, but also from the perspective of that this could be a way for me to earn extra money by owning a Tesla that gets put into the fleet and drives around town, giving people rides without me even having to be in the car. So I think me doing that would be not only beneficial to me financially, but it would also help me as an investor to make better investing choices. So if owning a Tesla and having it in the fleet, I can see firsthand that this is working great, then my conviction in the Tesla stock goes up. Whereas if there's a lot of problems, it would do the opposite. So it's a very important sort of educational tool for me. That's how I see it. So beyond that, another thing they mentioned in the earnings call, which, by the way, that announcement about the robocars in Austin in June, that's pretty shocking. But the other announcement was maybe even more shocking. They were talking about the humanoid robot, so they call it Optimist, and they're saying that in 2025 they will be producing thousands of these and putting them to real use. And in 2020, that being the case in 2025, and in 2026, that, they sort of depict it as a 10x kind of a thing. And then in 2027, maybe even another 10x in terms of the number being produced and how widely they're distributed. I sort of have a feeling that, these predictions are a bit optimistic, but that's how Tesla rolls. That's how Elon rolls. And that's how they're able to achieve such amazing things, or that's part of why, is that they go after such audacious goals, and they might fall short timing wise or something along those lines, but they still do achieve these things, just maybe a little bit later. So I'm not guaranteeing that they'll be late on this, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were a bit late. But anyway, and then maybe the 10x is really 5x or 7 or 8x or something like that. So, but nonetheless, if this comes even remotely close to happening, this is unbelievable. Let's also talk now a little bit about robots and Wall Street. So Wall Street has been, if you go back a year, so that's what this is, we're looking at what has really happened over the last year. So if you go back a year, Tesla was not giving any specific dates at all about when robot cars would start happening, and now they are. So huge change there. The humanoid program was it didn't look like it was going anywhere, and I have stated that that it was basically a joke, that was not being taken seriously by anyone, even part of the Tesla community, I think, wanted to believe, but also didn't want to overly invest in that sort of thought train. So anyway, the humanoid program and the cars are coming, and Wall Street will continue to lag on believing in this, but they are starting to recognize it, and that's new. So the analysts are starting to say things about these topics, and some are factoring that into their stock price estimations. Another thing is, I think that no analyst that covers Tesla should not have a Tesla and have FSD. Yet the opposite is true. Virtually no analysts that cover Tesla have a Tesla with FSD, and I think it's I'll use the term, I think it's criminal for them to be so uninformed about Tesla. And I don't know, I guess that's all I have to say about that. But there you go. That's my slightly deeper dive, and that's what things are like now, and that they have changed so much in 1 year. So that is part of my point. Have a great day. Ciao.